What are we doing?
Oh, we're live.
All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they work in your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode. This is week 2 of Jock Talk, where we talk college sports all day, every day. I'm here with my man, Jay Ness. How you doing today, Jay?
Man. I'm always good. And how about them Cowboys, man?
No, dude, I don't want to talk about it. Not only am I depressed about that, I know this is a college sports. We'll get all college in a minute, but I just want to get this off my chest. Not only am I watching this horrible Dallas Cowboy game, I keep thinking today's Thursday and tomorrow's Friday.
You know, that's how bad they got you guys, man. I understand.
No, I know I'm up for disappointment every year. I'm not like some other people, Cowboy Nations, were like, oh, we can win the division. No, we're done. This team's awful. The defense can't stop the run. A one-dimensional offense. It's mind-blowing how we just can't stop it. It's just insane. But anyway, we got a great show for y'all tonight. Man, some shakeup in the college football rankings. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk a little Ohio State. They have a big cancellation game this weekend, a big old rivalry game, which could implicate whether they're going to play for the championship game. We're going to get into that. Also, some college basketball is starting to heat up. Only a couple more games till everyone starts conference play. It's getting heated in the college world, so we're here to bring it to you. We can't wait to talk about it, so let's not waste any more time.
And real quick, before we do that, let's play a couple bills. We have our very, very nice, dandy-looking shirts that everybody can get. And actually, we have 2 ways that you can get them. I mean, first is we want to see get as much feedback as possible from you guys. We want you guys to be active, especially when the shows are going on. Throw some comments, like down there. At the end of the month, we're going to tally them all up. Person who likes, comments the most active user, we're going to gift a shirt every single month. So that's always a good way to get involved, get your ASAP t-shirt. And of course, if you don't want to get involved or you just don't have the time, but you still want to support, $25. That's all it takes.
$14.99.
Oh, we on a sale. Well, you better gobble it up before it's gone, because you heard what the price was. It's $14.99 right now, so get it while it's hot before that sale is gone. Okay, so if you don't have time to like and comment, go ahead and $14.99, pick yourself up a shirt. Okay, what's going on?
Man, what is going on, Freddie?
Yeah, let's
man.
get. So
all right.
What do you want to talk about first today?
Let's talk about these rankings. There's a little bit of shakeup with these college rankings that just revealed tonight at 6 o'clock Central Time. No, Freddie, you cannot get a shirt. You got to pay $14.99. Cheap.
While it's on sale, Freddie.
Christmas is coming up.
Yeah, man.
Anyway.
I mean, so you want to start at the bottom and work our way up, or you want to start right up at the top of the kingdom?
Let's just, because 1 through 4 stayed the same. I'm going to get into 4 here in a little bit. Well, I'm just going to tell you what my big surprise is.
Same, really.
Yeah. Man, but what a shakeup to me was there's 2 of them, I think. For me, moving to Iowa State all the way up to number 7. Dropping Cincinnati down to number 8. I just because Cincinnati's going to lose a game this week. They're supposed to play Tulsa on back-to-back weekends. That's not going to happen. They canceled that game next week. So the committee's showing their true colors of cancellation, and I don't know what Cincinnati did. I mean, they look like a good team. I don't know what. They have no losses. Iowa State has 2 losses, one of them against the 19th ranked Louisiana Raging Cajuns. And then, but Iowa State's playing some good ball. But you know what? Coastal Carolina, man. Coastal Carolina I think they need to be in the top 10. This team's legit.
Yeah.
And hats off to both of them and BYU to get in this game. BYU had a chance. They had a Tennessee Titan, Los Angeles or St. Louis Rams Super Bowl moment down at the 1-yard line. BYU came a little bit short. But man, I'm just flabbergasted. Like, I just don't understand why you drop Cincinnati and move Iowa State up all that much, and then I don't know. I mean, I think Coastal Carolina has deserved that they should be up higher. I think that they have a shot to be the non-Power 5 team to make the New Year's Six Bowl. But man, that's what's caught my eye so far. What's caught yours?
I mean, definitely that. I mean, we can't even talk about anything without talking about that Coastal Carolina game first.
Yes.
First of all, besides the rankings, before I even get into the rankings on it, it was a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, it was a really, really good game. It lived up to everything I was hoping for between the two teams, and it was like a fairy tale. It really was. It was like a fairy tale. They weren't supposed to play each other, and then you get them on the field, and the hypeness behind them. It's almost that's almost like a game that they got to mark down every year. That's almost a rivalry, a born rivalry right there. The intensity of both squads. Well, first of all, I want to go out and say I forgot what the DN's name is, but he's a really good dude. He's a really good player. I don't know what the heck he was thinking. He could have jeopardized that game a couple of times. That could have really messed up the momentum of that game. And I'm glad that Coastal was able to keep it together, because the slam of the quarterback, first of all, that was extra. But it was back. It was just nonsense. So, but I mean, I'm glad they overcame that and they were able to keep it together. BYU played their butts off. And I was trying to find where they ended up. So they went.
BYU, they switched spots. Coastal Carolina got to BYU's 13, and then BYU dropped all the way to 18.
Yeah, so they dropped to 18. Well, last week they were 14th. Yeah, so
okay, so 1-2 spots.
Yeah, and then Carolina was 11th last week. So I don't understand. All right, am I looking at the AP poll?
No, Carolina would stay the same at 17.
Yeah, what am I looking at? Oh, I'm looking at AP. But I don't understand why, like you were saying, Iowa State move all the way up to 7th, moves in front of Cincinnati, and you only give Coastal to 13th. I honestly think Iowa State would have been better suited sitting at that 9th spot, maybe the 8th spot. Honestly, man, I see this Georgia, Oklahoma. I don't know. I think Coastal's in the top 10.
Coastal should be in the top 10. Man. Well, Miami's good too. Miami's Georgia. I think I would knocked off Georgia to number 11, 11. I would have moved Coastal Carolina to number 9, leave Cincinnati number 7, Iowa State at number 10. How can this is why I don't like the playoff committee, and I think Coach Ken would agree with me on this one from the ASAP Network. How can you punish Cincinnati but not punish Ohio State?
I was gonna say, I wanted to save it so we didn't dive right into Ohio State. said Cincinnati. That was going to be back when you said Cincinnati earlier and them dropping that one spot.
Mm-hmm.
How do you punish them and not punish Ohio State?
Because money talks with these calls. I mean, just think about it. Because Ohio State, they've only played 5 games, and yes, they do pass the eye test. They demolished Michigan State. They looked every bit like a top 2 team in the nation, in my eyes. They have a great offense. That defense needed a little work, but man, when they've had 2 weeks off and they finally get to play a game, you see how well rested they were. But I just don't understand how you leave Ohio State at number 4 and punish Cincinnati for not having a game. Yeah, it's just mind blowing to me. Yes, Ohio State is one of the top 4 teams in the nation, but how can you? They only played 5 games, and all these other teams have played 10. How is that right? And I'm a big Ohio State guy. I'm rooting for them, but I just don't see. If you're going to do it for one team, you got to do it for every team. I mean, that's just plain and simple. I don't care what the name of the logo is. I don't care if you're Louisiana. I don't care if you're Colorado. Whatever the case may be, you need to do it for both teams. But Coastal Carolina, man, I was skeptical of them. And you were highly on them. You were very high on Coastal Carolina. And I really guess because I haven't seen much of them play this year. But, man, watching them BYU, both those teams are good teams. That's elite. I think it's better than any Pac-10, maybe even some Big 12 games.
Well, wait, now, hold on, man. Hold on now. Don't be going on after my Pac-10. I was just going to get into the Pac-10 here. You just already took a shot, so I already know where you're leading on.
Pac-12, sorry.
Pac-12. But, the thing is with Ohio State is you do got the win over Indiana.
Which looks like a very good win right now. Indiana is legit. That team is legit.
And that's holding their – honestly, that's holding the can.
Yep.
But if Cincinnati's punished, do they fall next week, Ohio State?
If they don't pick up a game, this is their last game. They need to pick up a conference game.
It's not going to be Michigan, though.
No, it ain't going to be Michigan, but –
you know what I mean? It's not going to be Michigan. It's not going to be Michigan State, Michigan. It's not going to be that strength of schedule no more unless they go out and find – I mean, who even – let's see.
Minnesota has been off.
Liberty? I mean, no one in the top 25 except Liberty has a place marker next week.
No, but what Ohio State they don't need a top 25 game. They need another conference game. That's what they need because right now they're not a championship. They can't go to a championship game.
So I mean, if they don't play next week, Texas A&M or Florida, who makes it in?
It comes down to the SEC championship game between Florida and Alabama. If Florida beats Alabama, then if you watched the countdown today at 6 o'clock with Kirk Herbstreit, he said it perfectly. Ohio State's going to be the biggest Roll Tide fan because if Florida beats Alabama, you're not dropping Alabama off the top 4. There's no way. But you got to put Florida in, and they're going to say Ohio State has not played enough games, and Ohio State's going to be out. But if Alabama beats Florida, then Ohio State's going to be in. I do believe. I think Texas A&M I don't think Texas A&M is going to get in just because they're not going to play in the conference championship game. But
I mean, at this point, if Ohio State doesn't play another game, that's null and void. I mean, it's Texas A&M. If you put their resumes next to each other.
Don't tell me this. Don't tell me Freddie's a Roll Tide guy. You front runner.
Man, Freddie got all the bus tickets. But if you put it at the end of the year, you put Texas A&M's resume and then you put Ohio State's resume next to each other. Neither one of them have a championship game.
Yeah, that's true. But if Florida beats Alabama, they're in.
Oh yeah, if Florida beats Alabama, there's no question.
But if Alabama beats Florida, you're telling me Alabama deserves it over Texas A&M because Texas A&M lost to Alabama. That's what I'm trying to get at. Because
So
let's just
if Alabama beats Florida,
mm-hmm.
Texas A&M over Ohio State.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I mean, I would consider thinking about it. Now there were talks. I don't know if it was just rumors or something I read that Ohio State and Texas A&M were actually going to play. We're talking about playing each other.
They should.
And honestly, I think they should. I think that even though it's not, that would benefit Ohio State and Texas A&M. The winner of that one's alive. And Ohio, even if Ohio State does not get in the Big Ten championship game, that opens up an open slot, and they need to play another game and to prove to the committee that they deserve to be in there, which we all know they should be, but it's just not right. That it just looks bad right now. I'm looking at the schedule. They're 5-0, and Clemson's 9-1. Notre Dame's 10-0. Alabama's 10-0. They played half the game, 2 times more games than what Ohio State has. So, but yeah, if they stand packed, I would put A&M. A&M looks good. A&M looks like a top 4 team.
Well, Ohio State go and play Carolina.
I think everything's up in the air right now with Ohio State, man. I think they're just waiting for the ruling from the Big Ten, man, because everything's up in the air right now. It really is. It's going to come down to that conference championship week with all these games. Now, let me throw a wrench at you right now. Let's say Florida beats Alabama. Clemson beats Notre Dame by 30 points. You still keep Notre Dame in? You do.
Yeah. They've played 11 games. They played 11 games.
That's what I'm saying is, what you going to put Texas A&M in over Notre Dame?
No.
They both have 1 loss.
But not both of them have beat Clemson.
But that wasn't the real Clemson team either, though, and that went to double overtime.
I understand, but
there was no Trevor Lawrence. There was no their top 5 defensive players were out for that game. They still went in double overtime and still had a chance to win that game. That's what I'm saying. That's the only way any shakeup could happen, if Clemson just goes and demolishes Notre Dame. That's the only way. But honestly, I think it's stand-packed. I think Ohio State's going to get in because of their name recognition. I think Clemson's going to get in. Notre Dame's going to get in, and Alabama's going to get in.
I don't think Ohio State should get in. I really think they're going to do a disservice this year.
Well, what happens if Florida? Okay, let's just play devil's advocate for a couple minutes. Florida beats Alabama. Notre Dame beats Clemson. There's 2 spots. Alabama's getting one of those. Who you got the next? Because Clemson has 2 losses and they're out.
So Florida beats Alabama, so Florida's automatically in.
So there's your team, right? Florida, Alabama, Notre Dame, and who?
I mean, at that point, but what does Texas A&M do?
That's the kicker.
Because
you're going to have 3 SEC teams in. Why not just make it an all-SEC tournament?
Yeah.
Would you think about putting a Big 12 champion in, even though they both have 2 losses? They came early in the year with COVID and everything and flexibility. Iowa State, even though they should have lost to Texas a couple weeks ago, they didn't. They held on 1. Now they're looking like they're rolling and everything. They look like a good team. Oklahoma's finding their stride with Rattler at quarterback. I really don't like Rattler, but he's having a great year right now after getting benched by Texas. But honestly, we're just playing devil's advocate, and I just think that you're going to see these top 4 teams. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that it changes much. Because they for some reason they really want Ohio State in this. They really do. But I mean,
now if USC comes back and wins it,
well, you know what? Actually, I'm looking at this, and honestly, if Alabama loses, Texas A&M should make it.
Even though Alabama beat A&M.
If Alabama loses,
mm-hmm.
Texas A&M takes that 4th spot.
And over Florida.
Yeah. Because they've only lost to Alabama. And I think they should deserve they deserve a chance at their redemption. They've been out. They beat Florida.
Yeah, but Florida beat Alabama, man. Florida looks like a top 4 team to me. I'm sorry, they do. They look good. I mean,
It's rough because Texas A&M beat Florida, and they only lost to Alabama.
but then Texas A&M only lost to Alabama. Yeah, but Florida only lost to Texas A&M in Aggieland.
But wasn't Texas A&M in Alabama?
No, I think it was in A&M. Not 100% sure, but I think it was A&M. I'm not 100% sure. But Florida has this. They have a conference championship, which Texas A&M won it, and they would play more games.
That conference championship is a trump card.
Yep.
That's has to have a championship game.
And that's where I disagree with this year. With so much uncertainty, the ACC did this year. There was no East versus West, Atlantic, whatever, 2 divisions. It was everyone's on one, and then the 2 top teams play. SEC should have done that. Even though there's like 30,000 teams in the SEC, they should have done that this year to make it more competitive because it's not fair. Like I said, A&M and Florida and Alabama, those are top. But Florida is on the weaker side, and they get to go play for a national where Alabama doesn't get a chance to redeem themselves. So that makes sense.
Yeah, I think if Ohio State really wants to mark their quote unquote territory and cement it, they should really play another game against somebody. They got to find somebody because they got Lafayette, because in Louisiana Lafayette, they're ranked 19th right now. So Eastern Carolina has Louisiana Lafayette at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I really, man, if they But dude, if they go 12-0,
I think they didn't jump Cincinnati.
But if they go 12-0, and
you're not putting them in the top 4, are you? No way.
Listen to this. Ohio State doesn't play a championship game. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Florida beats Alabama. Right?
Did you do that?
And Clemson gets beat for a second time.
Still want to put them in.
12-0. And they would have beat Louisiana Lafayette twice. And they would have beat
But you're forgetting about Cincinnati Bearcats, who's going to play Tulsa in the championship game, who's also undefeated and also looks very good too.
Hey.
I'm just saying there's a lot of hot probabilities. None of this is going to happen. We already know these 4 teams are going to get in.
No. But, I mean, we already know Ohio State is going to somehow wiggle their way in this.
Oh, there's already talk to get them in the Big Ten championship game just because of their name. I guarantee you, if this was Indiana and they weren't allowed, and they only got 5 games in, they wouldn't. That's like, oh no, you can get 6 games in, but because it's Ohio State, they're going to let them get in with 5 wins and play for that chance. I guarantee that's what's going to happen. Because all honesty, this Michigan one wasn't their fault. Their players aren't sick with COVID. It's Michigan that's sick with the COVID.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why? Honestly, I see both sides. I think it was a stupid rule to begin with. Chris Brown, they are. I know they are. It's all about brand. It's all these teams. It's all money. These top 4 teams are going to get money that they're going to draw, even though there's going to have limited fans in these playoff games. Not in the Rose Bowl because Los Angeles is not going to let anyone in. But it's just all name driven. That's all it is. They want the TV ratings. And so you're telling me that a Cincinnati or a Coastal Carolina against an Alabama is going to draw money or TV? No. I mean, you and I would watch for sure. A great sports fan would watch, but an average sport, they wouldn't sit there and watch it.
Quick question. Who's the better receiver, Devontae Smith, Waddle, or Chase?
Man, if you would let's answer this one. Christopher Brown, I do think Justin Fields is. I do agree with that totally, Christopher. I think he's outshined Trevor Lawrence the last year and a half. Trevor Lawrence is a little he's still a great quarterback. I still going number 1 by every. He's still a great guy or a great quarterback. But
I think Justin
Fields, man, he's accurate. He can run. He's accurate. He can throw the D ball on accuracy. So can Trevor Lawrence. But Justin Fields looks like another man on him. He does. He just looks better to me on eye vision. But you can't go wrong with either one of those 2.
I think Justin Fields is more talented by far.
Oh yeah.
But I think Trevor Lawrence is a better. He makes better decisions. He's just one of those guys. He doesn't get in too many weird bad positions often, so you don't really see his deficiencies. So I just think he plays well to his strengths. He's very smart. He's very calculated. I like Trevor, man. I think he's really gonna be.
I do too.
He's gonna be good. He's gonna be good.
Fields compared to anybody would be Russ Wilson built like him. That's totally true. Chris Brown coming with his A game today with his college.
Hey, because Fields is, but again, Trevor Lawrence is 266, 220.
What's Fields, 6'4"?
6'3", 6'3", 23.
Man, Justin Fields is a bad man. And so is Trevor Lawrence. But
Bad.
Whoever NFL gets, what team, they're both going to get winners. They come from winning mentalities. They're both.
Who's going to go to the playoffs first?
It depends on the man. Okay.
Right now.
If I'm Trevor Lawrence, I'm playing another year in college.
Really?
If the Jets, I'm sorry. If the Jets and Adam Gase are number one, you trust in me. You're like, if I'm the quarterback, you're trusting that. You're trusting what we just saw against the Raiders. We're trusting that. I'm sorry. Because there is one rule in NCAA this year. They said that no matter how many games you play this year, you can't come back for another year of full eligibility and full scholarship. So if you're Justin Fields, you might be thinking of, but at some point these guys need to go get paid too. I mean, it's not going to happen by a stretch of imagination. But
you get paid for more than 2 years.
Yeah. So start taking that in. But honestly, okay, so let's just play like the draft scenario comes out right now. I'll take Justin Fields going as playoffs first, just because I think he's going to be on a better organizational team. Because I think Trevor Lawrence is going to the Jets, and they're
yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a longer struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Fields is going to have better success right away.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Trevor Lawrence in the long run is going to be the more successful quarterback.
Oh yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't have Justin Herbert this year as the best rookie quarterback either, and look what he's been doing.
Hey, Herbert's looking nice, man. I used to give up.
He had a bad game Sunday, but man, he's looking good. He's looking Oregon. I didn't see that at Oregon, but that's another time for another day. But yeah, I think Justin Herbert for sure. Well, not Justin Herbert. Justin Fields will be playoff first just because of the situation in New York Jets I have right now.
Yeah.
That's my take.
No, but to my question, Chase, Waddle, or Smith?
Okay. If you would have asked me at the beginning of the year, before any games are played, Waddle. But man, Smith this year, he's shown out. This boy is unbelievable, man. He has the speed. He has the hands. He can get separation. He can make a quarterback look fantastically well. He can do double moves better than anyone I've ever seen. He knows how to run the sidelines, how to get his feet in. This guy knows how to do it all. He's the best receiver in college football right now. I'll take him.
Automatic star.
Mm-hmm.
Automatic start. And I'll tell you what, I was even week 1 and 2, I was looking at Chase like, oh man, Buddy is good.
Mm-hmm.
But even after this, Smith went from above all of them. Smith is a bad boy, and he flies too. He's gonna be nice, man. He's gonna be nice. But yeah, so let's switch gears for a second. Let's jump over to a little bit of college.
Mm-hmm. All right. Ooh. Just a quick scores updates for college basketball. Illinois is putting it on Duke, 67-53 right now. Duke does not look. Duke, I'm sorry, this ain't gonna. They're still gonna get in the tournament just because of their name. they're not going to win the SEC this year. I think that's going to be North Carolina. Just, I trust North Carolina more. Duke just after they won that championship, Coach K, he's recruiting. And I love Coach K. He just hasn't found the right fit with what he wants to do. Does that make any sense?
You know what? I'll tell you.
Ever since he's won that championship.
Coach K is not big on one and done.
No, he just adapted to it, and he hates it.
Yeah, he does not like that. He's looking for a long-term commitment, guys. And you can tell by his system, he gets those juniors is when they really become super successful typically in his program.
Jay Williams.
Correct. So,
JJ Redick.
which kind of, leads me right into our our topic tonight. Is John is Calipari is it a wrap for him? And I say no. Calipari's changed the way of basketball, man. And the one thing that I know, sitting down in that office when they signed Calipari to be the richest coach, I know the discussion was, listen, this is a one and done spot. So you're going to have rough years.
Yeah.
You're going to have those years that don't look like typical Calipari basketball. I mean, but when you look at their roster, just looking at their roster, you can see why. You can see why. We're on a short year, or not a short year, but a weird year. We got sophomore, freshman, graduate, freshman, sophomore, senior, sophomore, freshman, senior, freshman.
That's Calipari every year, though.
But that's my point. That's my point. You're gonna have those years, man. Not everybody's gonna be, your prospects and what you turn out are not always gonna be the same, especially in college.
Oh yeah.
So
you're not gonna get the John Walls and Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins every stinking year.
No, there's gonna be a bad recruiting year.
No. But I will say that no, I don't think he should go right now. He's having one bad year. He always turns it around. But if you just look at Kentucky, what are they all about? Winning, and they want to win. The last couple of years, Kentucky's kind of squandered it, I guess you can say. They've had one of the best teams in the SEC, and they just haven't shown that they were the best team. Now, granted, that makes a good point what you were saying about the freshmen. You don't know what you're getting. They're freshmen. You don't know what you're going to get. Their minds are already made up. They're going into the pros, no matter what happens. That their minds. That's why I think this stupid one and done rule is the stupidest thing the NBA has ever done. NBA has done a lot of good things, but this one and done thing sucks. It really does. That's why I like college basketball, because you get to know the players. You get to know the JJ Redicks, the Jay Williams, I go way back, the Simons of the world of Arizona, all those people, man. And now it's like the only time you really like the average fan gets to know these is during March Madness. And this last year we didn't get to see that. And you saw how it impacted. Like on my Twitter timeline during the draft, they're like, "Who's this player? I never heard of. Who's this? Who's like So that's the one thing the NBA needs to revisit. I think is going back to no one and done, coming straight out of high school. It's just not working. Or adapt the college or the baseball rule, what they've been doing for the baseball.
I agree to disagree with you on this. And the reason being is I do agree that it is taken away from the longevity of the players. Because you look at a player like Shane Battier, you look at a player, the seasoned vets, the JJ Redicks, the seasoned vets of college basketball, their name's going to last longer. Even after their athletic ability kind of dies down, they're still going to linger around on teams. They're still going to linger around the NBA. They're going to get coaching opportunities. They're going to get other opportunities to stay around basketball just because of the longevity that they had inside college sports. It's plain and simple. And then a lot of them really go a long ways in getting an education. And most of the time, not most of the time, but a lot of times they're geared towards sports commentary, sports management, those type of things. So they're still playing inside basketball. They're still staying inside basketball a little bit. So that part, I'm starting to notice that, like you were saying, we're getting players that are playing 3 years and falling off, 4 years falling off way more often now. We're getting more players in and out the league. But at the same time, I like what they're doing with the G League
I do
because,
too.
it's really creating, the one thing I used to really like about baseball, I don't know what it was as a young kid. I loved scouting. I loved the whole thing of knowing what's the next player before
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I knew it. So baseball used to give me that thrill because you had your A, you had your AA, you had your AAAs, going to spring training games and watching those young dudes about to break out and come get called up, and seeing them travel through the farm system that MLB set up. And I'm starting to see the NBA kind of start to push that a little bit. And they got a long way to go, but they're moving towards the right steps. Allowing them to come out of high school and go straight to the G League for a year and then go into the draft. That was beautiful.
Yes. Then I agree with what they're doing with that. But previous years before that, I did not like this one, and I hated it. I absolutely hate it because you're killing. Let's just be honest. Like what? 2% of the people make it to the NBA, make a full career out of it. You're demolishing these young 18-year-olds' dreams by thinking that they're all, and then they're not there yet. Some players take time to develop, like a Shane Battier or a
Draymond Green,
Steph Curry. Steph Curry needed those 3 years. And what happened, that NCAA tournament, he had that shown out. There's no way he would have been drafted number 7. He didn't have that run to the Elite Eight. There's no way he would have, even though with his name recognition. Everyone just saw him as a 3-point shooter. But before that miraculous run that he had, that's what he needed. And that's what a lot of these kids need. I just wish that I'm old school. I miss the old days where everyone stayed. Frank, that guy from Wisconsin, what's his name? Frank Carden. Seems like he was there for like 80 years at Wisconsin. I can't say his last name. I do apologize.
But at the same time, though, Trey, I mean, you put this on the NBA, but let's be honest. The college needs to fix it up as well. I mean,
yeah, it goes both ways.
Yeah, because they're making buku amounts of money, man. Buku amounts of money. These stadiums are getting bigger every time they get a new stadium. The donations are getting larger. I mean, they're getting huge amounts of money. And they're not breaking it off with the players. Do they necessarily need a salary?
I wouldn't say salary, but I'll give them a little bit of spending money. I like, man, because as a college athlete, it's a job. You can't go out and go get you can't go. Yes, you're getting a free scholarship. We get all that. But you know what? Who else does? People who get straight A's, people who are in the band, people are like, but they can go out and go get a job on the side. These athletes, they can't. I mean, there's hardly any way for them to get a job. Even in their off season, they're at the gym, at the field house, lifting weights, running through tape, doing all. It's a job.
Yeah, I mean, let's just say, let's take away that. Let's take away the practice in between week and all that. Let's just say, who's going to work Monday morning after they just got hit for 15 minutes a quarter for 4 quarters? Who's gonna wake up and go lift some boxes for your local grocery store, the next morning at 6 a.m. after the game that night? No one.
A fullback.
Though, like,
I do. I get what you're saying. Yeah, because like I crawl underneath the house. I'm in pest control and I crawl underneath the house and I'm sore and I don't even want to go wake up the next morning. So just taking hits and everything, that's hard.
And this is a guy that didn't get hurt. He didn't take a significant crazy hit. It's just the bumps and the bruises for 15 minutes for 4 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you need 2 days to recover, maybe before you go back, or a day to recover before you go back to full contact. And so I see I see where people are saying, oh, they're college students. They should not get paid for playing this, that. I get that side. Like you said, don't have a salary, but have some spending money or have a food card or have, stuff to get by. You know what I mean? So you don't have to go out and steal lobster. They want to eat good too. They're tired of eating McDonald's.
But I will say this: you can't make it for like your quarterback gets more than like a lacrosse girls team. You have to make it even throughout. The football team's got to be the beneficiary. The football team, the football pro organization is going to take all the money, but they got to split it up. They can't just have, and that's the only way to make it fair because I don't. It's hard to do, but don't pay them like millions of dollars. Heck no.
No. But at the same time,
why not do like a stimulus package like we got a $1,200 check every month?
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
The lacrosse team that's bringing in $3,000 a year.
Well, yeah, but they're still putting just as much work in as a football team is. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not fair.
We just said that the lacrosse team can get a part-time job.
Oh, who said that? I didn't say that. You said that. I didn't say that at all. Lacrosse? Did they put in work too, dude?
No, they do. All of them do. But I'm saying there's some sports where your downtime is a little bit more, and they could have a part-time job. And I think that's going to be factored in. Like the swimming team, if they're down, their downtime is going to be higher than the baseball team. I think that their portion should be lower. They should be held accountable for a little bit more free time that they have.
Yeah. Man,
so, you can get hurt. You can end your career and not walk right.
Oh yeah. But man, we can go on and on about all, man, nonstop with everything. But let's adjust a little bit and let's go back to college basketball.
Okay.
And who do you have right now as your front runner, man, for Naismith Award?
Well,
it's early in the season to get you that, but
yeah, because I was gonna say I haven't really dove in.
Well, who is the best player you've seen so far? Let's put it that way.
That boy from Iowa is.
That's who I was going with. Dang it.
Iowa, and I was gonna say I haven't got to catch more. I caught one in like a half game of him, and I've seen a lot of highlights from him. But every time I see him with the ball, he looks smooth. He's calculated. The dude is bad. And it doesn't look like they're going to stop him.
No, there's no one that can stop him. He's averaging 34 points right now, almost 10 rebounds. The guy's unstoppable.
He's man. And then, what do you think? Is Gonzaga for real?
It's hard because, man, I was very upset when this Baylor Gonzaga game got canceled. I was very upset. I was like, ooh, I want to see this. I can't wait. It's going to be over football. I'm going to watch this over football. And then got canceled. But someone on our network said, what will go wrong? Well, can go wrong, will go wrong with Gonzaga. And that's exactly what's happening right now. They're getting hit by COVID. Their star player gets hurt. The injury, it seems like every year Gonzaga has a chance. Even when they have the best team, they lose in the Final Four and they should win. Or they lose they used to be the Cinderella story, and now they're getting beat by the Cinderella story.
Adam Morrison.
Oh, dude, he has 2 rings, though.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But, because their next game that's currently not scheduled to be canceled is Iowa.
Good luck. I think Iowa's the best team in the country right now.
I couldn't argue.
They're defensive oriented. They just demolished North Carolina by 13.
Yeah, they definitely have the best college basketball player right now.
I mean, they scored 93 points in a 40-minute game in college. You don't see that on a regular basis. This seems legit. But, man, there's a lot of good teams out there. Creighton, do not sleep on Creighton.
No. Creighton is nice.
Creighton should have beat Kansas tonight. They got lucky. Kansas got lucky on that one.
The other dude, Iowa State. I told you about him on our first show. from the I think his name's like Isaiah Ross.
Mm-hmm.
That dude is nice too. Him and Luca. That's the dude's name from Iowa. Luca.
Yeah, Luca.
Luca. Him and Luca, man. Those dudes are. If Luca keep playing like this, he number one pick.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I can't argue with that. I can't.
He's better than anybody that came out this year.
For sure. That's well, I can tell you that because it feels like, well,
Luca.
It's hard because like it feels like the college like this year they got like we missed out on a whole year because of COVID and we didn't get to see the tournament. The draft wasn't the NBA season got pushed back. I mean, we didn't get like we forgot a lot of people until the draft. Like, oh yeah, I remember him or I remember this guy. But it's hard. But Luka's gonna be nice. Luka's gonna be nice for somebody.
I feel like
Chicago Bulls.
I feel like the teams are more balanced this year.
Oh my gosh, yeah, from top to bottom. Illinois is in the top 6. Rutgers is number 21 right now. Your Arizona State is 23.
And they're nice. They're just young, you know.
And don't sleep on Texas Tech.
They got some ballers.
Texas looks good. Texas has some returning starters. And this is a make it or break a year for Sasha. It really is. Sasha Smart, whatever his name is.
Just looking at some of these stat leaders, and there are no Kentucky's
not even. Kentucky's 1-3 this year. There's not one player who's showing out. He's changing his lineup every week.
That's good. Showing he's coaching. He got a bunch of freshmen. Let's find out which one you want to play.
Exactly. But man, college basketball is going to be tough this year, and it's going to be interesting too because the NCAA tournament's all going to be one bubble system. They're all going to Indiana this year, so it's going to be very interesting to see if there's going to be any real without hardly any fans this year. Cinderella stories. And that's what. Is there any Cinderella stories now? Because that's another thing that's killing this one and done thing. That's why you're seeing all these like mid-major schools taking on and being the Kentuckys, the Dukes of the world, because you have these freshmen who aren't ready for it, and you have these sophomores and juniors and seniors on these mid-major teams. It evens out the playing field, so that's why you're seeing a lot more mid-majors make it.
I mean, definitely. I mean, I think the Cinderella story is just getting written with a different type of pen now. You know, as before, we would have, you know, some freshmen or, you know, young cat come in there and just have a crazy tournament. Or even before it was like Steph was a junior and he just had a crazy tournament. So you know, that Illinois game is officially over.
My Dukies. It's been a bad night. Can I just go to bed?
Right. But you know, so looking at that, I just think it's going to be written with a different pen. We're going to see a lot of better teams.
Oh yeah.
Team play is not. It's not going to be. We're going to see a lot of these powerhouse teams. Yeah, we're going to see somebody like Luka. We're going to see somebody like Ross. We're going to see somebody like that go off. But these Cinderella teams that are going to follow up, we're going to see really good teams. You know, like from Chicago a couple years ago.
The one with the nanny or the nun.
Yeah, man, they were they played so well, and it was so hard to stop. Played well together. So that's the type of teams I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a Davidson. I'm looking for Chicago. Man, I forget what they were.
Lola. Starts with the noun. Chicago Lola.
Loyola. Yeah.
I apologize to our viewers. It's been a long day for me.
No, and that's why Baylor scares me.
Baylor doesn't scare me. I don't trust Baylor. Baylor always. This ain't women's Baylor. This ain't women's Baylor.
But live by the three and you die by the three, and you get hot in the tournament and you shoot that three ball very
And
well.
then ask a Houston Rockets, you'd live and die by the three. You get cold, and in one game, you're done. It ain't a 7-game series or 3 games. It's done. That's why I don't trust them.
That's why
You need
that's
more scoring.
a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
I mean, like, dude, these Cinderella teams that you're talking about, there used to be Cinderella, Creighton's, the Houstons, they're all in top 10. Villanova now is number 9.
but are they
And they
gonna?
won the Richmond at number 19. I mean, all these San Diego State at 24. All these teams back when we were growing up were like we're 15 seeds and 16 seeds. Now it's just weird how it's all changed. Like,
So is Duke out of the top 20 next week? That's their
No.
second, right? Or that's
the
their third.
Second loss. They lost to Michigan State and then tonight.
So it's still
They're 2-1 entering the night, and then now they're 2-2. No, they'll probably drop to number 15 because they played a ranked team. But you're showing the effects of that Duke team without the Cameron Crazies, though. That home court advantage, it's hurting this young freshman team. It's just a weird year, man. Anything can happen. That's why it's going to be a fun basketball season. You just need to tune in. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait till we get closer to tournament time when these teams are really in gear and well-oiled machines.
And hopefully we have a vaccine for the COVID, so everyone could not be out for COVID, and we actually have good games. And
well, we're gonna get into a bubble. Once.
Yeah, but you're trusting these 18 and 19-year-old kids to stay in their hotel room for 3 days in a row? I mean, come on.
Yeah, I trust them more than I do these adults in the football teams.
I trust them more than James Harden.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, they don't. They're trying to play. They're trying to get on that.
But they have to get on that big stage because that's how they get their money.
That they ain't got the money yet.
Oh, some of them have the money already. They're just shh about it.
Yeah,
everyone knows it. But oh man, let's wrap things up with this week in college football. This week, what are you looking forward to this weekend of Saturday games, man?
Let me pull up here. Oh man, I want to actually. My biggest thing this week is to find out what Ohio State does.
That's what I'm waiting for. It's not really a game. It's just what is Ohio State going to do?
Yeah, like what is Ohio State going to do? Because that really is going to change a lot of stuff. It really is.
I mean, because all the conference championships in the big markets are already set in stone. In the Big Ten, it's Ohio State maybe versus Northwestern. You have Clemson, Notre Dame already set. You have Florida, Alabama already set. You already have Oklahoma, Iowa State already set. So this week, it's just basically don't lose your positioning in a playoff, in a bowl game or the playoff position. The only intriguing game I see for any reason is North Carolina, Miami at 2:30 on ABC. That's the only intriguing game. You might be intrigued with the Arizona State game on Friday night.
They've played 2 games this year.
I know. I kind of wish the Pac-12 didn't play at all this year.
Yeah, they should not have done it because even USC.
They started too late.
They're not going to get. They look like they had a good team this year. They could have made some Pac-12 noise. Colorado, but also this Georgia-Missouri game, 9 versus 25. Georgia is really trying to fight and stay up in that top 10. They really need to take care of that game.
Washington, Oregon for Pac-12 reasons. I mean, there's not really any good games this weekend. That's why I'm just waiting for conference championship week. That's when we're going to find out a lot more about the college playoffs and everything like that.
Tulsa, Cincinnati might be good.
That canceled it.
Oh, they did?
That's what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. They canceled that game, and they're punishing Cincinnati for it.
Yeah, you did say that.
But they're playing in the conference championship, though, so that's going to help them out, I think, at the end, too. But, man, this COVID is just ruining our college sports, man. But you know what? We're going to get it all right. We're going to get it. Just tune in with us. We'll keep you up to date.
keep it going for you. Keep it going for you. So, yep. Next week we shall resume. We'll have some updates on Ohio State. We'll have a little bit more.
We should have an update on Ohio State since it'll be a week. Hopefully, we'll see if they play a game or not.
Right. Four pack kind of figured out a little bit better.
College basketball should be starting conference play a little bit later. I think that next month. So we're getting the nitty gritty of all the good sports, man. So it's starting to ramp up. So please comment.
NBA basketball starts Friday, so everything's about to heat up this next week.
Football, NFL, playoff positioning's coming up. Everything, man. It's starting to get that time. If you're a baseball fan, free agency starting to heat up. But
until next week.
Like, comment, share our show. Please comment if you want us to talk about anything. Me and Jay would love to talk about it. We'll keep the heat rolling. We'll keep everything going. Hope to see you next week. If you still want to watch ASAP All Sports All Play Network, tune into the post-game show. I think they're still going on for all the action. Tune into Thursday for Real Talk. That's going to be heated. I know they got a couple big topics on for Thursday night. And then I think Jay's on post-game on Thursday night as well, since he didn't make the Sunday night post-game.
And also remember, viewers, we're doing the shout out. So message me, myself, or Trey if you want to get your school shout out. Alumni, rep your school. But other than that, man, thank you guys. Like, comment, share. Till next week.
We out.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, top